Hi, I'm Kendra Hodgson. I'm a yoga teacher in Northampton, Massachusetts. The spine is central to our health, both on a physical level and on an emotional and spiritual level. So today we're going to take a look at how can we create a healthy back. Okay, so let's start by setting a healthy foundation. Most people stand with their feet turned out and their hips rotated outward. So show that. Yeah. So this is a common stance for many people. And turn to the side so we can see from the side view when this happens. So turn your feet out and just see how the low back here, come into the picture, how the low back here is a little bit flat. There's not a whole lot of curve here. We want to get a lot more curve in Boysen's low spine. Turn your feet parallel. So what this means is that he's got his feet are parallel with each other. They're underneath his hips, and his second toe mound is pointing forward. So he's got his feet parallel, and already that gives him a little bit more curve. Go ahead and bring your weight onto your left foot and then come up onto the balls of your right foot. Press into your right toe mound. Your right big toe mound is right there. So go ahead and press into that. Now draw back on the inner edge of your foot all the way back to your inner right heel. Keep drawing back, and then you can actually keep lowering your right heel to the floor so that you're stretching the inside edge of your foot all the way back to your inner heel. Excellent. Root your inner right heel. Now press into your pinky toe mound. So the toe mound on your right foot under your pinky toe. Draw along the outer edge of your foot all the way back to the outer right heel. And then root back down. Root all four corners of your feet evenly, of your foot, your right foot. Now let's do the same thing on the left side. So press into your left big toe mound, draw along the inner edge of your foot all the way back to the inner left heel, and then keep that drawing as you root the inner left heel down. Press into your pinky toe mound on your left foot, draw along the outer edge of your foot all the way back to the outer left heel, and then root down. So root all four corners of the feet evenly. Feel more stable? And now the second thing is that the thighs tend to pop forward. So what we want to do is get Boysen's thighs to come back. So take your hands to the top of your thighs. Yeah, great. And then lean forward a little bit. Now take your hands and press the tops of your thighs back. Just really press them back. Yeah. Then keep your tops of your thighs back as you bring yourself more upright. Yeah. See how much more curve there is now in the low back? Okay, so we want to continue on this idea of getting the curve in the low back. And our healthy back mantra that I learned from my teacher Martin Kirk is curve first, then lengthen. So we're going to get the curve first and then lengthen. So he's already got a pretty good curve, but I'm going to show you another way to get it. So bend your knees and bring your hands down to the outsides of your shins. Yeah. Lift your toes up. That is going to fire the muscles on the outsides of the shins, on the outside of the calves, called the peroneus muscles. You don't need to know what they're called, but just that's what they are. And now press your hands in toward the midline. So you're going to hug your knees in toward the midline, hug your shins in toward the midline. Yeah, great. He's doing a great job here. Now start to widen your thighs apart. So from your inner thigh, widen so that your knees track right over your ankles. That is great. And then go ahead and keep that action. Bring your hands to your hips. Keep hugging your shins in and your thighs wide apart, and slowly start to straighten your legs. Yeah, excellent. And then see, we've got so much more curve here. Take your hands to the top of your thighs again and press your thighs back. Touch lift your thighs back. Yeah. So you got the shins in, thighs back and wide apart. Excellent. So let's look at that from the front, just so that we can see the action from the front. So go ahead, turn your feet parallel. Excellent. Set your foundation. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Lift your toes and bring your hands to the sides of your shins. So we're going to show here. So show what often happens when he'll press in is that his knees will start to come together. So that's the action of hugging the shins in, his knees start to come together. That's okay, he's going to use his thighs to counter it. So now widen from your inner thighs so much that your knees track over your heels. Excellent. Keep that, and then straight, bring your hands to your hips, and then straighten your legs. Excellent. Great. And so this is going to really get him that nice curve, and now I'm going to have him turn to the sides, and we're going to look at the other step. So bend your knees again, get your shins in, thighs out, and then you keep that as you straighten. Take your hands to the top of your thighs, make sure your thighs are back. Yeah. So he gets this nice curve. Now we want to give him some length. So what he's going to do is just very gently tone his butt and lengthen his tailbone. So he just lengthens. So now he gets some good length. So he curved first, and then he lengthened. So I'm going to show this idea of the tailbone getting long just so that it's really clear here. So when we come down and we do our shins in, thighs back and wide apart action, we can get a real deep curve. So you can really see it accentuated in my back. So then as I straighten my legs, I end up with this curve that's way too much here. So to really, move my arms out of the way, to really like bring this in, I need to lengthen. So I'm going to take from my tailbone and lengthen. Lengthen. So much better. So here from the back you can see this is the tailbone right here at the base of the spine. So thighs back and wide apart. And I come up, and then the tailbone lengthens. What can happen when you do that is you come up, kind of lengthen the tailbone, and pop the thighs forward. So we don't want to lengthen the tailbone and pop the thighs back forward. We want to take the thighs back, wide apart, come up, and then into that space, lengthen the tailbone. Now we need to give him some curve up here in the mid-back, the thoracic spine. So to get that, we're going to use a principle called inner body bright. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you can close your eyes and imagine someone that you really love. And let that feeling of love start in your low belly and then rise all the way up into your chest. You want it to rise in your back body too. So let it fill you all the way back into your back body as well as your front. And now start to expand your ribs, expand your physical outer body to match that fullness that's in the inside, to come onto it and into it. So even fill your back body even more. So really fill into your back ribs. Like use your breath to help expand back here so much. Yeah, there you go. So that's great. So you start to get a curve that goes this direction. It's a convex curve up here. Excellent. And then you lengthen from your hips all the way up to your armpits. So we get longer right here on their side bodies. Yeah, so good. And then we're going to just continue from there right into the curve in the cervical spine. So take your left hand up behind your head. Take your elbow forward. And now draw your armpit back. So keeping your elbow forward, draw your armpit back so that your shoulder blade flex right into your back. Now press your head, your skull, back into your hand, taking your ears back. This creates shoulder loops. So this gives the curve in the cervical spine. Now we want to lengthen. So now take your hand and draw upward to lengthen. So it's going to bring your chin down towards you just a little bit. Yeah, so that gives you the nice length. Excellent. Keep that and lower your hand. So now you've got healthy curve, low back, healthy curve in the thoracic spine and then the cervical spine. Take your hand to the top of your head and now rise up from the core of your pelvis, rise all the way up through your spine and up into your hand. Just press your head into your hand. Or as Noam Mazet says, press up into your head as if there's a party going on up there. So you can release your hand, but then just continue just extending up. Yeah, excellent. And just puff a little bit more back here. So got full back here. And then still keep keep your head to your armpits and keep your head moving back. Yeah, great. And then go ahead and release. But you can keep. So I want to show the action of shoulder loop a little bit, just so it's very clear about what we're doing there. So first I'm going to do my other actions. I'm going to come down, do my shins in, my thighs back and wide apart, and come up. Make sure that my thighs are nice and back, and I really lengthen. I scoop my tailbone and lengthen. Now I'm going to get so full inside and expand, especially in my back body. And then I'm going to get long. Actually, I'll take my hand behind my head first. I'm going to get really long from my hip up to my armpit. I get so long. And then I plug my shoulder right into that space. See how she plugs back? This is not plugged in. Ready? So I get so long and I plug into that space. And then keep the length, keep the plugging, draw my head back, lift my heart. And then I start to lengthen the back of my skull. Take my hand to my head and expand up. These are some tips about how you can keep your spine healthy and keep all of the good curves and the different parts of your spine so that you stay in good alignment and that your spine keeps working for you for the rest of your life. And so I'd like to thank all of my teachers, especially Martin Kirk, my anatomy and therapy teacher, for teaching me about the wonders of the back and the spine and how important it is for us to keep it healthy. See more, read more, and learn more at KendraHodgson.com. Thanks. Have a great day.